Now, there's been drama involving this Academics TV account. Now, if you're on Twitter, you're familiar with this account. Apparently, there's a lot of different narratives about who runs this account. Now, the thing is that moving forward, Kendrick's team has actually taken some type of initiative to find out who's running this account and is reaching out to Academics to see if he could prevent anything from being posted, at least in a negative way. Because at this point, we know that Academics TV has been posting a lot of propaganda when it comes to Kendrick and his team. It wasn't later until Academics had went live on Instagram where he talked about Anthony Saleh, Kendrick's manager, confronting him about this page. It looks like Drake wasn't the only one that was hiring private investigators. It looks like Anthony Saleh had also hired private investigators on his own to research about Academics TV. Now, this is what Academics is saying. It's from word of mouth, so take it with a grain of salt. But let's play the clip right now.
I've been told him like, yo, really? What? Anthony Saleh talked to me about Academics TV. Nigga said he hired a private investigator. He said, we know the whole nigga's name. They literally told me, they said, yo, we don't want to have to get somebody to do something to him. And I'm like, whoa.
Now, this is the problem. Academics is trying to paint it like Anthony Saleh is saying that he is gonna threaten to do something. The only problem is that we don't know exactly what Anthony Saleh said. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. They're trying to figure out who is running this account and why are they spinning certain narratives on that they're trying to put on Kendrick's team. It's only understandable because this page has been spewing propaganda, talking smack about everyone from Kendrick's team, whether it's TDE or PG Lang. But the problem is that we're getting this information from somebody who got pressed by Anthony Saleh, who got pressed by Dave Free. So when you hear this information, you kind of got to believe half of what is said. But I definitely do agree that if there is a channel out there spewing propaganda, they are going to look into it. We already know that Punch and Academics had gotten into an argument on Twitter about the same account, Academics TV. So this is something that has been relevant. This is something that TDE, I'm assuming, could have been looking into, but I don't think that they're going to do something like that initially. But I don't think they're going to do something crazy like physically or anything like that. I think that they'll probably try to find the individual who did it and try to make him responsible. I think that's what it really means.
So since he works under you, could you get him to chill? And I'm like, yo, bro, I agree with certain things on the parameters of battles and beefs. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is how my page is ran. It's ran by fans.
And I think that's the whole problem. I think the problem is that they want to find out exactly who is running the page. That was the whole point why Punch and Academics had got into a back and forth about the page itself. It said Punch had said, "Hey, yo, Academics, didn't you say that the homeboy personally wrote the captions for Academics TV? Or were you capping when you said it?" DJ Academics responded, "Who is homeboy?" And then Punch said, "You know who homeboy is." And we're talking about the Academics TV account, right? Academics responds with a paragraph. And he says, "Oh, I love this. Let's clarify and set the record straight. Drake never wrote a caption on my page. I have a team that does this." Now, on this new clip, he's saying that it's not a team that does this. He's saying that it's a fan. So which one is it? Is it a fan or is it a team? And let's not forget that Punch never mentioned Drake. He said homeboy. He didn't say Drake. So now, is it Drake that's running the page? Is it a team of yours that's running a page? Or is it a fan that's running a page? Because now you've changed the story three different times. Once Anthony Saleh had told you that he hired a private investigator to find out who runs the page, he told you, "We'll look into it," or can you just tell him to stop? And the whole problem with that is you make a lie and say that it's ran by fans when you had made a previous post saying that it was ran by your team. And then when Punch tried to get you to admit something, when he said homeboy, you said Drake. So either it's a team of people that you're rocking with that are controlling the account, or it's Drake. But I can tell you right now, when Academics said it was a fan account running it and he has no control, that was a lie for sure.
Get me? Dave Free come down, doing all this extra shit. I'm
Dave Free came down and pressed you right after that. Don't forget that.
like, all right. He admits it's like, yo, his issue is with Drake. He asked me if Drake paid.
But the narrative is that they're hiring private investigators to look for this guy because they're claiming that they're going to do something to him. Everybody who's posting this video, or at least this account that's posting this video, is calling the FBI, pulling a Nicki Minaj, basically ratting people out for confronting people who've been talking smack about them. I guess they're trying to report this. Like, I don't know. They're just trying to do some Nicki Minaj shit right now at this point. But the whole point of this is that they're trying to flip it like they're trying to antagonize journalists or whatever the case may be, which is not true. These accounts have been antagonizing the people that they've been talking about, which is all the people in Kendrick's team, and they're just confronting them now to try to figure out who's responsible for posting what, and that's what it looks like. They wouldn't even be looking into these pages if they didn't talk smack about them consistently. So it's really just the cause and effect of everything that those pages have been posting. Not only that, when we talk about TDE and Kendrick's team making people feel uncomfortable, let's talk about when Drake called Anthony Saleh and made him feel uncomfortable, right? Because Akademiks did admit that too. When he was on live stream talking about how he got pressed by Anthony Saleh and Dave Free, he talked about how Drake was sending threatening voice notes to Anthony Saleh.
Now, this is what I don't know. And I'm going to ask Drake. I'm like, Drake, is this true? He says, you should have heard this nigga Drake, what he was saying to us before we whipped his ass. This is what he told me. I said, what do you mean? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never really knew Drake speaking to anybody. Like, Drake has told me he hasn't spoken to Dot directly, but I didn't know about if he spoke to anybody else in and around Dot. Anthony Saleh, he confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says. He says Drake is saying to him, Drake is saying shit like, yo, I'm gonna done you. Like, just talking crazy like, yo, you niggas is watch. Yo, you got like you guys think you can finish me? Da-da-da. Crazy. All of a sudden, they're like, then we drop the bomb. Right? Cool. Not like us, they're talking. All right.
And this is what I mean, because the person that's sharing this clip that we're watching is reporting Anthony Saleh, TDE, and all of these other individuals to the FBI. It says, attention, FBI, serious report. Please note we have media figures being threatened. And now this is the case because the clip that we just watched had just showed that Drake also threatened Anthony Saleh. So what are we talking about here? And that's because Drake is in court right now. You're tagging the FBI on some Nicki Minaj shit. Drake is in the court right now. And we're finding out that he's threatening Anthony Saleh through voice notes. And what's worse is that they're voice notes. There's recordings of Drake doing this. The point is that Kendrick's team isn't threatening nobody. They're investigating or looking into the channels that are talking smack about them in the first place. They wouldn't even be looking their way if they didn't post all this propaganda on the internet. It's the only reason why we're here in the first place is because they keep talking down on them. And Akademiks is trying to deflect. He keeps trying to deflect. He keeps saying that it's fans that are posting this. And then at one moment when he's talking to Punch, he says that it's his team that does it, but then also names Drake in the same breath. So it really does feel like all of this is being said by Akademiks to deflect and try to act like he has no responsibility when behind the scenes, he has all the responsibility. But we'll keep it alleged, bro. I just think that this story is interesting because they're trying to flip the script like if TDE is attacking and investigating people, when in reality it's Drake that's sending crazy voice notes to them, and it's all of these random accounts talking smack about them. And they're trying to bargain with Akademiks. Once they see him in person, they tell him, can you tell them to stop? Because we're doing our own research, we're doing our own investigation, but you know them personally, right? But what does Akademiks say? Oh, they're just fans, bro. I don't control them. But when he talks to Punch Online after that event, oh, bro, they're on my team. And then mentions Drake, bro. I don't know, bro. You got to make it make sense. But y'all tell me how you feel about this. I really do think that Akademiks and his team, like he says right here in this post, are the ones in the wrong here. Anthony Saleh, Dave Free, and everybody that's getting involved is only trying to investigate and find out what these channels are and what's their purpose and who's responsible. The minute they talk to Akademiks to try to plead with him, and he acts like he has nothing to do with it. But we'll keep it alleged, bro. Y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it alleged.